Evan Cole sat on the edge of his bed, breathing fast. His legs were still shaking, and he didn't know why. The morning light touched his window, but it did not calm him. Nothing felt normal. Nothing felt safe. He placed his hand on his knee. It trembled again, harder this time. A cold shiver ran up his spine. What did she do to me?" he whispered. He didn't want to remember last night, but his mind forced the memory back, piece by piece, like a broken movie replaying on its own. Evan closed his eyes, and the flashback began. It started when he was walking home from the old spaceport ruins. The night was quiet, too quiet, almost empty. No cars, no people, not even the usual wind that moved the old dusty signs. Just silence. Evan felt uneasy. He didn't know why. He just wanted to reach home fast. Then, he saw it. A soft blue glow, floating in the darkness. At first, he thought it was a broken lamp or maybe some old machine still working. But the light moved, slowly, like it was alive. He took one careful step closer. The glow brightened. His heartbeat quickened. He felt something, like tiny sparks running over his skin. "Hello," he tried to speak, even though his voice shook. No answer. The light expanded, opening like a flower. And from inside it, a shape stepped forward. A woman, but not human. Her skin glowed faint blue. Her eyes were silver like shining metal, and her hair floated behind her as if it was underwater. Every step she took made the air around her ripple, warm then cold. Evan froze. His legs refused to move. He didn't feel scared exactly, but he didn't feel safe either. The alien woman looked at him, straight into his eyes, as if she already knew him, as if she had been waiting. She spoke something in a soft, musical language. He didn't understand a single word, but somehow he felt the meaning. Not danger, not anger, but something deeper, something strange. Evan tried to step back, but his leg failed. He stumbled. The woman rushed forward with inhuman speed. She touched his shoulder gently, too gently for someone that powerful. And then, everything changed. Energy shot through his body, hot, bright, overwhelming. His vision blurred. He felt his bones vibrate, his blood turning into liquid electricity, his thoughts breaking apart and mixing with light. He gasped for air, but the woman held him steady. Her voice echoed inside his head, not through his ears, but directly in his mind. "Human, you are chosen." Evan's heart raced so fast he thought it would burst. He felt his knees give up, felt the night spinning around him, felt himself falling. The last thing he heard was her whisper again, softer this time, almost sad. "You will survive." Evan's eyes shot open. He was back in his room, sweating. His legs vibrated like they were full of electricity. He slowly lifted his pant leg. His breath caught. There were glowing blue marks on his skin, thin lines like alien symbols, moving, shifting, alive. "What is happening to me?" He touched the marks. They pulsed, responding to him. A soft hum filled the room. He looked around in panic. No machine was on. No lights were flickering. The sound was coming from his legs. He stood up, but the shaking got worse. He grabbed the table for support. His pulse hammered in his neck. Why couldn't he forget her face? Why did her voice still echo in his mind? He forced himself to take a slow breath. Another. But the fear didn't leave. Something inside him felt wrong. Dangerous. Changed. He tried to calm himself. He tried to believe last night was just a dream. But dreams don't leave glowing symbols on your skin. Dreams don't make your legs shake for hours. Dreams don't speak in your mind. He walked to the window. Outside, everything looked normal. Kids waiting for the school bus. An old man sweeping his porch. A woman watering plants. Normal world. Normal people. Normal life. But he knew his life wasn't normal anymore. Evan whispered to himself, "If she comes back, what will she do? What does she want from me?" He didn't know. He didn't know anything. But one thing was clear. Something from last night had followed him home, and it was still inside him. His legs trembled again, stronger this time, and the blue marks flashed like warning lights. Evan stayed at them, terrified, because deep down, He felt something coming, something bigger than him, something he could not stop, and he whispered the same question again. "What did you do to me, alien woman?" A soft thud came from outside his door. Evan froze. Someone, or something, was standing in the hallway. The marks on his legs glowed brighter, reacting to whatever was near. His heart dropped. She wasn't the only one looking for him. Apko az mysterious, suspenseful science fiction stories pinhain. To please, gently, subscribe to this channel. Taka AAP next parts Miss N.A. Carine. Evan took one step back from the door. His breath slow, his hands shaking. The shadow outside moved. Something whispered his name, and the story had only begun. Evan stood in the middle of his room, frozen. The glowing marks on his legs were slowly fading, but the shaking inside him was not stopping. The shadow outside his door was gone now, or maybe it had moved somewhere he couldn't see. For a moment, the silence felt heavy, thick, like the air was holding its breath with him. He walked backward until he reached his bed. He sat down slowly, trying not to make a sound. His hands rested on his thighs, feeling the heat coming from the blue marks under his skin. The warmth was strange, almost alive, almost like the marks had their own heartbeat. He whispered, "Why? Why are they glowing without her?" He didn't expect an answer, but something inside him responded anyway. A small pulse, a tiny spark, as if the marks understood him. Evan swallowed hard. Last night changed him. He knew it. He felt it, but he still had no idea how much. He forced himself to stand. He needed answers. He needed to think. But thinking was impossible when every few seconds a wave of energy ran through his legs. He walked toward the bathroom, turned on the cold water, and splashed his face. The reflection in the mirror looked like a stranger. Pale skin, tired eyes, messy hair, and fear, so much fear. He lifted the edge of his shorts again. The blue symbols were still glowing faintly, forming patterns that looked like paths, or circuits, or instructions. "Why me?" he whispered in the mirror. A sudden vibration shook his left leg. He grabbed the sink to stop himself from falling. The glow brightened. "What are you trying to tell me?" He didn't get the chance to think more, because the hum in the room rose again, louder this time, not from his legs, but from outside the house. A soft, mechanical whir, like something scanning the air. Evan stepped to the window slowly, cautiously. He lifted the curtain just a little, and his breath stopped. Floating outside, barely a few meters away, was a small black drone, round, silent, with a single red eye blinking slowly. Watching him, Evan froze. The drone tilted its body slightly, like it was studying him, like it knew about last night. The marks on Evan's legs glowed in response, brighter than before. The drone's red eye blinked faster. "No, no, no," he whispered. He dropped the curtain and stepped back. Was it from the government? Was it from her? Was it from something else entirely? Before he could think, the drone moved closer to the window. So close the glass reflected its red glow. Evan's heartbeat almost hurt. He took another step back. Then another. The drone scanned the room, its red eye flashing in a pattern. Fast, slow, fast, fast, slow. The marks on his legs flashed in the same pattern. "Oh God, they're connected," he whispered. He needed to get out. Now, he grabbed his backpack, stuffed his phone and a few things inside, and quietly opened the back door. The morning air felt cold on his skin. He looked left, then right. No drone, no shadow, no alien woman, just silence. He stepped outside and closed the door behind him carefully. Too carefully, trying not to make any sound. He walked fast toward the alley behind his house. Every step sent a small shock through his legs. He could feel something guiding him, like the marks wanted him to go somewhere, to move, to escape. But escape from what? He reached the alley and leaned against the wall, trying to breathe. He whispered to himself, "This is insane. This can't be real. This." A sudden beep came from above. Evan looked up. The drone was there, hovering over the alley. Silent. Too silent. It hadn't followed him. It had waited for him. No. Evan ran. The drone shot after him instantly. Evan sprinted across the alley, the blue marks flashing under his skin. Every time his foot hit the ground, a burst of speed pushed him forward, faster than he ever ran in his life. What is happening to me? The drone fired a thin beam of red light. It hit the ground inches from his foot, burning a smoking hole. Evan jumped a fence with a speed that shocked even him. His body felt lighter, stronger, faster, but also unstable, like his muscles were not used to this power. He ran into an old abandoned yard. The drone followed, buzzing louder now. Evan ducked behind a broken metal crate, breathing hard. His legs vibrated again. The symbols flashed rapidly, as if warning him. The drone stopped in the air, searching, waiting. Then, suddenly, the marks on Evan's legs released a small spark. A blue flash of energy. It shot outward, silently, straight into the drone. The drone's red eye flickered, then died. It fell from the sky and crashed onto the ground, smoking. Evan stayed in shock. I did that. His legs stopped shaking for a moment. The blue marks faded, almost calm, almost satisfied. Evan stood up slowly, his breath fogged in the air. If the drone found him, others would too. And if the marks could destroy that machine, then the alien woman who gave him this power was much more dangerous than he thought. He whispered, "What did you do to me? And why are others looking for me now?" He felt eyes watching him. He wasn't alone in that yard. He knew it. He felt it in his bones. He turned slowly and saw a tall shadow standing at the far end of the yard, watching him, not moving, not human. Evan stepped back. The shadow tilted its head. "Evan Cole," it whispered in a distorted voice, as if speaking through broken speakers. "We have found you." Evan didn't move. The shadow stood at the end of the yard, unmoving, silent, too still to be human. The voice that came from it was broken, glitching, like a machine trying to speak through crushed metal. "Evan Cole, we have found you." His legs shook again, not from fear this time, but from something waking inside the blue marks. The shadow stepped forward, slow, heavy, deliberate. Evan's breath caught in his throat. He had no weapon, no plan, no idea who this thing was or what it wanted. He whispered, "Who are you?" The shadow answered with a glitch in its voice. "Not important. You are required." Its body shifted under the dim light. A tall armored shape, black plates covering its skin, joints glowing with faint red energy. Its face was hidden under a mask, smooth and featureless except for a narrow red slit. Definitely not human. Evan took one step back. His legs buzzed again, the symbols lighting up in warning. "I don't want trouble," he said quietly. The figure replied, "You already hold trouble inside you." A cold shiver went through him. The figure raised its arm. A sharp clicking sound echoed, and a bladed weapon slid out, glowing red like burning metal. Evan's heart raced. He whispered under his breath, "No, no, I can't fight you. I'm not." Before he could finish, the creature rushed forward. Its steps were so fast the air cracked behind it. Evan jumped to the side, barely missing the blade slicing through the metal crate he had been standing near. The crate split open like paper. Evan fell to the ground, breathing hard. His legs pulsed violently, blue light running up and down like electric veins. The creature turned toward him. Its voice glitched again. "You have something that belongs to us." Evan didn't understand. What? What did she put inside me? The creature strode closer, and then a sudden gust of warm air swept through the yard. Evan felt it first. The strange, soft wind. The familiar vibration. Blue light shimmered behind the creature. The alien woman stepped out of thin air. Calm, silent, glowing, as if she had been waiting for this exact moment. Lyora, the same woman from last night. The creature turned sharply. Its red visor brightened. "You." Void touched. Lyora raised her hand, blue light wrapping around her fingers like strands of energy. Her voice was soft but powerful. "You should not have come for him." The creature hissed, robotic and furious. "He carries the key code. Return it." Evan stared. "Key code? What key code?" Lyra stepped between Evan and the creature, her silver eyes glowing. "He is under my protection. Leave. The creature tilted its head. You protect a human. Lyra didn't blink. Yes. Silence. Tense, sharp, dangerous. The creature raised its weapon. Then you are now enemy. It attacked. Lyra moved like pure light. Her arms swept upward, forming a shield of glowing blue energy. The creature's blade smashed into it. Sparks flew. The ground shook. Evan covered his ears. Lyra pushed her arm forward. A pulse of blue energy shot out, hitting the creature in the chest. It flew backward, crashing into the wall with a metallic roar. Dust rose. The ground cracked. Evan stayed in shock. She saved him. Again, the creature stood back up, sparks flying from its armor. It staggered toward them. Target will be taken. Lyra's eyes narrowed. No. She moved her fingers. A sphere of blue energy formed in her hand. Bright, humming, dangerous. The creature tried to charge. Lyra released the energy. The impact shook the entire yard. The creature glowed red, overloaded, and then collapsed into a heap of broken metal and dark fragments. Silence returned. Slow, heavy. Evan looked up at Lyra, his heart still racing. She turned toward him slowly. Her voice was gentle. Are you hurt? Evan shook his head. I don't understand. What is happening to me? Lyra stepped closer. The soft glow around her skin warmed the cold air. You survived something no human has ever survived, she said. And now, others want what is inside you. He swallowed. What did you put inside me? She looked at his legs, at the glowing symbols pulsing softly. I gave you a biolink, a connection to my energy, a part of me. He felt the words hit him like thunder. A part of you, inside me. Lyra nodded once. But why? Why me? Her silver eyes softened. You were dying last night. I could not let you die. Evan blinked. He remembered falling, collapsing, fading. She continued. Your body accepted the link. That makes you chosen. He shook his head slowly. You mean, others will keep coming for me? Yes, she said quietly. The ones you saw today are only the beginning. Evan felt cold, really cold. Lyra reached out and gently placed her glowing hand on his shoulder. Warmth spread through him, calming the shaking. I will protect you, she said softly. But you must trust me. Evan met her glowing silver eyes. I don't have anyone else to trust. Lyra nodded, the faintest hint of emotion in her expression. Then come with me, she said, before more of them arrive. Evan took a breath, deep, steady, and stepped toward her. The blue marks on his legs glowed again, brighter than ever, responding to her presence, as if they recognized their creator. Lyra held out her hand. Your real journey, she whispered, begins now. Evan followed Lyra through the broken yard, his breath unsteady, his pulse still shaking from the fight. The creature's ruined metal pieces lay scattered behind them, smoking, silent, a reminder that something far bigger than him had already begun. Lyra raised her hand. Blue lines formed in the air, gentle at first, then stronger, shaping into a glowing doorway. The air rippled like liquid. Evan stared. You can open portals. Lyra nodded softly. Yes, but only for short distance. We must move before more hunters trace this one. Hunters, plural. A chill ran through Evan's skin. He stepped through the glowing doorway with her, and in an instant the world shifted. The yard vanished. The sunlight vanished. Everything became quiet and dark, until dim lights flickered on. They stood in a long metallic tunnel under the ground. The walls were smooth, curved, and humming with faint blue energy, same color as the marks on Evan's legs. Evan whispered, Where are we? Lyra walked ahead. Under the old spaceport. Humans built nothing here. This place is not yours. Evan swallowed. So, it's alien. Lyra glanced back. Yes, very old. Even older than me. He didn't know what was more shocking. That she said the place was ancient, or that she implied she had been around long enough to know. They reached a wide chamber at the end of the tunnel. Lights flickered on one by one. The room was huge. A circular hall filled with holographic screens showing rotating planets, star systems, and unknown symbols. The floor was made of black glass, glowing softly beneath their steps. In the center stood a tall pillar covered in shifting blue runes, like the marks on Evan's legs. Evan stayed with open shock. This place, this is real. All of this. Lyra turned to him. You needed answers. This is where you get them. He looked around. Every screen showed Earth in the middle, with dark, moving shapes surrounding it. Lyra, what are those things? She touched the pillar. Holograms expanded, showing closer views. Shadows, enormous black ships drifting like predators in the dark. These are void-born vessels, she said quietly. Machines grown from living metal. They travel through the dark between stars, feeding on energy, worlds, species. Evan's stomach tightened. When will they reach Earth? Lyra didn't look at him. They are already here. Evan stepped back. What? Then why isn't everyone panicking? Why isn't the sky full of alarms? Because they hide, Lyra said. They move in shadows. They watch. They prepare. A cold weight settled on Evan's chest. Lyra turned toward him, her expression softer. And that is why they want you. Evan felt his throat tighten. Why me? Why not choose someone stronger? Smarter? A soldier? Lyra walked closer. You humans do not understand your own bodies, she said. You are more adaptable than any species I have met. When I found you last night, you were dying. But when I placed the biolink inside you, your body accepted it. She touched the blue marks on his leg, and they glowed brighter under her finger. No human should survive a link with my energy, she whispered. But you did. And because you survived, the Voidborn want what you carry. Evan took a shaky breath. So what exactly is inside me? Lyra stepped back and pointed at the central pillar. A hologram displayed strange symbols. The same glowing patterns as the marks on his skin. The key code, she said. A sequence of living energy that unlocks the defense tower. Without it, Earth will fall in minutes. Evan shook his head. You're telling me I'm some kind of key? Lyra nodded slowly. Yes, and that makes you the most hunted human alive. Before Evan could process the words, a loud metallic clang echoed through the tunnel. Lyra snapped her head toward the sound. They are here. Evan's chest tightened. How did they find us? You said this place was hidden. Lyra's voice grew sharp. I said humans cannot find it. The Voidborn are different. Another metallic strike. Closer. The ground trembled slightly. Evan stumbled, grabbing the pillar for support. Lyra pulled him away. Don't touch that. Not yet. The lights flickered. A low mechanical growl rolled through the chamber, vibrating the air. Evan whispered, They're coming, aren't they? Lyra's eyes glowed brighter. Yes, and they will not stop until they have you. A section of the tunnel wall suddenly tore open like paper. Not cut, but melted. Hot metal dripped down, glowing orange. The smell of burning steel filled the chamber. Evan stepped back, shaking. A tall figure stepped through the melted opening. Not like the armored hunter from before. This one was bigger, darker, its body shaped like moving shadows controlling a metal shell. Its voice rumbled like thunder underwater. Human, surrender the key code. Evan felt the marks on his legs burn. Not in pain, but like they were reacting to danger. Lyra stepped in front of him again. Stay behind me. The Voidborn creature raised its arms. Two long blades formed from its forearms, glowing with red-hot energy. Lyra whispered without looking back. If they reach you, everything ends. Evan felt his knees weaken. What do I do? For now. Lyra said softly. Run. She pushed her hand forward. Blue energy exploded from her palm, slamming into the Voidborn creature. The shockwave knocked Evan backward across the chamber. He hit the floor but rolled to his feet, adrenaline rushing through him. Lyra shouted, Go! Evan, move! The creature roared and swung its burning blades through the energy shield, breaking pieces of it apart. Evan ran toward the far tunnel, his legs glowing with every step. But as he ran, a terrifying thought hit him. If the Voidborn wanted the key code, and the key code was inside him, then the fight for Earth had already begun, and he was right in the middle of it. Evan ran through the dark tunnel, his breath shaking, his legs glowing brighter with every step. Behind him, the metallic roars of the Voidborn monster echoed like thunder rolling through steel. The ground trembled with each impact. Every instinct inside him screamed to keep running, to survive, to not look back. But something strange was happening inside him. A pressure, a heat, like blue fire swirling in his blood. He finally stumbled into a smaller chamber, one that looked less alien and more mechanical. Old walls, flickering lights, dust floating in the air. He pressed his back against the cold metal, trying to hear if Lyora was still fighting. The distant blasts of energy answered him. Evan whispered, "She's still holding it off. How long can she fight that thing alone?" His heart hammered. He couldn't just wait. He needed to help her. But how? His legs pulsed. One quick flash, then another, as if responding to his fey. He looked down. The blue marks weren't just glowing now. They were moving, shifting, crawling across his skin like living lines of light. "What are you doing to me now?" he whispered. The marks pulsed harder, sending a jolt up his spine. He gasped and grabbed the wall. Another pulse, stronger, like a shockwave in his muscles. He dropped to one knee. Arg! His veins glowed through his skin, bright blue. His breath came in sharp bursts. Then, the tunnel around him faded for a moment. Everything blurred into blue fog. For a second, he wasn't in the chamber at all. He was standing in a different place. A hologram-like memory. A training hall. Alien. Wide. Silent. And Lyara standing in the center. Younger. Smiling. "Focus your energy," her voice echoed softly. "You must control it, or it will control you." Evan blinked. "Is this your memory?" Lyara didn't answer. This wasn't real. This was something the biolink was showing him, teaching him. Suddenly Lyora's hands moved, a stream of blue energy wrapping around her arms. Her steps were quick, graceful, controlled. She launched a burst of light that cracked the ground. Evan swallowed. "She wants me to do this. She wants me to fight." The memory Lyora turned and looked directly at him, as if she could actually see him inside the vision. "You have my link," her voice echoed. "My power reacts to danger, but your will must guide it." The vision shattered. Evan gasped as he fell back into the dark chamber. His legs buzzed like live wires. "No, you're joking. I can't do what you do. I'm not." Another pulse hit him. His eyes widened. His legs felt lighter, stronger, faster. He slowly stood, trembling not from fear but from the rush of alien energy. "I have to try." He stepped forward. The ground cracked slightly beneath his foot. What? A second step. Faster, smoother. His body responded before his brain even caught up. He clenched his fists. He felt power in them. Small, unstable, but real. A distant scream echoed down the tunnel. Lyora's. Evan didn't think. He sprinted back. The walls blurred beside him. Wind slammed into his face. Light trails flashed from his legs with every step. He burst into the main chamber and froze. Lyora was on the ground, struggling to stand. Her shield flickered weakly. The Voidborn monster towered over her, blades burning red-hot. "Lyora!" Evan shouted. The creature's head turned. Its red visor flashed brighter. Target detected. It lunged toward Evan with terrifying speed. Evan didn't have time to plan. He raised his hand, just like Lyora in the memory, and felt something inside him snap open. Blue energy burst from his palm, shooting forward like lightning. The blast slammed into the monster's chest. The creature roared as it stumbled backward, metal cracking, sparks flying. Evan stared at his hand in disbelief. "I did that." Lyora lifted her head weakly. Her eyes widened in shock and relief. "You activated the link." The Voidborn monster steadied itself. Smoke curled from its armor. Human, unstable energy detected. Unauthorized. It charged at him again. Evan felt the heat rising in his chest. The energy building. But it burned. His heart pounded painfully. "I don't know how to control this," he yelled. Lyra pushed herself up with shaking arms. You must, or it will kill you. The monster swung one of its burning blades. Evan jumped back, his legs reacting fast, powerful, launching him several feet away with a shockwave. He hit the ground and rolled, breathless. The creature came for him again. Evan raised his arm desperately. The marks fled. Too bright, too hot. A wild burst of blue light exploded outward, uncontrolled. It hit the monster again, blasting a hole through its shoulder plate. Metal pieces flew across the chamber. Evan collapsed to his knees, clutching his chest. His heartbeat was too fast, like it was trying to burst out of him. Lyra rushed to him, pulling him back behind her shield. You used too much. Your human body isn't ready. I didn't have a choice, Evan gasped. The creature staggered, malfunctioning, but still alive. Red lights blinked across its body. Its voice glitched. Back up, arriving. Lyra's eyes widened. More are coming. We must leave. Now. Evan tried to stand, but pain shot through his ribs. Lyra grabbed his arm, helping him up. You are getting stronger, she whispered. But if you keep using the link without control, it will destroy you. Evan nodded shakily. I'll learn. I just need time. Lyra looked toward the tunnel as distant metallic footsteps echoed. Multiple. Heavy. Fast. We don't have time, she said softly. She pulled him close and raised her glowing hand to the air. Blue light wrapped around them both. The start of a portal. Evan breathed hard, legs still pulsing with unstable power. Where are we going? He whispered. Lyra looked into his eyes. Calm, sad, determined. To the one place where humans never go, she said, and where the Voidborn will fear to follow. The portal exploded with light, and the world vanished. The world snapped back into shape, but it was not Earth anymore. Not the tunnels, not the ruins, not anything he had seen before. Evan found himself standing on a floating platform of black stone. Above him stretched a massive sky of swirling colors, blue, green, violet, shifting like living nebulae. Below the platform was nothing, just an endless ocean of stars and drifting fragments of broken worlds. He stumbled forward. Where are we? Lyra stood beside him, calm despite the chaos around them. Her silver eyes reflected the strange lights in the sky. This place is called the Rift Between Worlds, she said softly. A hidden space between realities. No human has ever stepped here. Evan spun slowly, taking it in. There were strange structures floating far away. Giant arches, spiraling towers, pieces of ancient machinery drifting like islands in space. Lyra, this place shouldn't exist. I know. Her voice wavered. That's why it is safe. For now. A heavy silence settled between them. Evan finally exhaled. His chest still burned from the energy blast. His legs throbbed with a faint glow. Lyra stepped closer and placed her hand gently on his arm. You used the link too soon. It overloaded your heart. Evan looked down at his legs. The blue symbols were dim now, slowly moving like tired fireflies. I didn't have a choice, he said. That monster would have killed us both. Lyra hesitated, a rare expression of worry crossing her face. You are brave, but your body is changing faster than it should. The link is growing stronger. If you lose control, it could burn you from inside. Evan swallowed hard. So teach me. Help me control it. Lyra looked away for a moment, as if deciding something heavy. Evan, there is something you still don't understand. He frowned. What? She raised a hand. A small hologram appeared in the air between them. A floating, rotating sphere of blue light. The same pattern as his glowing marks. This is the key code inside you, she said. It is alive. It has purpose. It is calling out. Calling out. To who? To the defense tower hidden beneath Earth's crust. A machine built long before your species evolved. It was created to protect planets from the Voidborn. Evan stepped closer, mixing with Faye. So, Earth has alien defense systems. Lyra nodded. Built by ancient travelers. I was sent to guard it, until the key code found a host it could survive inside. Evan felt a chill. And that host is me. Lyora met his eyes. Yes. Before he could respond, the platform trembled. A deep, thunderous vibration under their feet. Evan staggered. What was that? Lyora's expression hardened. They found us. A crack opened in the space above them. A jagged black tear spreading like ink. From inside it, dark shapes crawled out. Not machines this time, but shadowy creatures made of smoke and metal fragments, twisting and stretching unnaturally. Voidborn scouts. Lyora grabbed Evan's wrist. We must leave the rift. Their presence will tear this place apart. Before she could summon another portal, one of the shadow creatures lunged. Faster than anything Evan had seen. Lyora shoved him aside. Move! The creature slammed into her with a screech, sending sparks flying from her glowing shield. Evan hit the ground hard. His legs vibrated violently, the marks flaring. No, Lyora! She struggled, pushing the creature back with beams of blue energy. But there were more. 3, 4, 5 of them pouring out of the tear like a storm of living darkness. Evan felt the energy in his body rise again. Hot, painful, ready to burst. His heartbeat thudded like war drums. Not now, not now. But the link didn't listen. It responded to danger, not logic. A surge of power shot through him. His vision turned blue. His breath turned hot. He staggered to his feet, fists glowing. The nearest Voidborn scout turned toward him, eyes like red slits burning. It lunged. Evan reacted on instinct, his arm whipping forward, releasing a burst of blue light that cracked the air. The creature exploded into shards, but the force knocked Evan backward. His vision flashed white. His heart screamed in pain. Evan! Lyora shouted. He gasped, clutching his chest. I can't control it. Lyora fought off another creature and dragged him toward her. You must stop using the link. I can't. It's doing it on its own. The platform shook again. The sky tore open further. More shadows swarmed through. Lyora's voice turned sharp. Evan, look at me. He forced his eyes open. Her face glowed with blue light. Her hands cupped his head. Her forehead touched his. Listen. Feel my breath. Slow your heartbeat. He tried. He really tried. But the energy raged inside him like a storm. Lyora whispered something in her ancient language. Soft, rhythmic, warm. Slowly, very slowly, the light in Evan's legs began to dim. The burning inside him faded. He sighed in relief. But the moment the energy calmed, Lyora choked. The shadows surrounded her. Blades formed from their arms. Their red eyes glowed with hunger. Evan reached toward her. No, Lyora. She pushed him back with the last of her strength. I will hold them. Run. No, I'm not leaving you. You must, she shouted. You are the key, Evan. If they take you, Earth dies. One of the void-born creatures wrapped shadowy chains of energy around her. She cried out, but kept her eyes on Evan. Go. The rift began to collapse, spiraling inward like a dying star. Evan tried to run toward her, but the floor cracked apart beneath him. Gravity tore sideways. His body fell through collapsing space. The last thing he saw was Lyora, glowing blue, surrounded by shadows. As she whispered a final word, live. Then the rift shattered, and Evan fell into darkness. Darkness swallowed him whole. Evan didn't know if he was falling, floating, or simply fading out of existence. There was no up, no down, no sound. Just cold, endless black. Then, a tiny spark flickered in front of him. Blue. Soft. Warm. It floated closer and closer, until it touched his chest. Light burst outward. Evan gasped as air filled his lungs again. He fell onto a smooth metallic floor, coughing, shaking, his legs burning with blue fire. He blinked through the blinding light. He was no longer in the rift. He was inside a circular chamber, clean, bright, and strangely quiet. The walls curved like the inside of a ship. Alien symbols glowed in long lines across the ceiling. He whispered, where am I? A soft voice answered, you are safe. Evan's heart leapt. He looked up and froze. Lyora stood near him. but she looked different. Her glowing blue aura was dim, like a dying flame. Her skin had cracks of light running through it, and her silver eyes flickered as if struggling to stay open. Liara, you're hurt. She gave a weak smile. It was the only way to pull you out before the rift collapsed. Evan pushed himself toward her. Why did you protect me? They nearly killed you. Liara's voice softened. Because your life and mine are no longer separate. Evan stared, confused and breathless. What do you mean? Liara stepped closer, placing her trembling hand on his chest, right over the glowing marks that now stretched faintly upward from his legs. The biolink I gave you, it binds our energy, she whispered. If you die, I die. And if I die, the energy inside you will tear your body apart. Evan's breath caught. So we're connected. Completely. Liara nodded. We share one life force now. Silence fell between them, heavy and unreal. Evan touched the glowing cracks in her arm gently. You are hurt because of me. No, she whispered. I am hurt because I chose to save you. His throat tightened. Before he could speak again, the chamber lights flickered. Liara's eyes sharpened. They found us. Evan's stomach turned. No, not again. Liara held up her hand. Not the Voidborn. Something else. A deep hum vibrated through the chamber floor. A new hologram appeared in the air. A large sphere showing Earth from above, surrounded by red pulses. What is that? Evan asked. Liara's voice turned grave. The defense tower is awakening. The Voidborn scouts have reached Earth's lower sky. Soon, they will launch a full invasion. Evan stepped back. Then take me there. Let me activate the tower. Liara shook her head slowly. You are not ready. The key code will destroy your human body if you activate it now. Evan clenched his fists. I don't care. If I don't do it, Earth dies. Liara's expression softened with a sadness he didn't understand. You are willing to give your life for your world. Yes. Evan snapped. Isn't that why I survived the link in the first place? Liara looked away for a moment, then back at him. I did not save you because of destiny, she whispered. I saved you because of you. Evan's heartbeat stumbled. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. Liara took his hand, her touch warm but trembling. Your courage, your stubbornness, your kindness. You do not see it, but I do. Evan felt his chest heat up, not from the link, but from something else entirely. Liara, A sudden explosion shook the entire ship. Evan grabbed the wall to steady himself. What was that? Liara's eyes narrowed. They are trying to force entry. The room darkened. Emergency lights flashed red. Metallic footsteps echoed from the corridor outside. Heavy, synchronized, cold. Evan whispered, They're coming for the key code. Liara's voice sharpened. Yes, and we cannot fight an army in this condition. She stepped back and lifted her arm. The air shimmered. A portal began to form. Unstable, flickering. Evan frowned. Where are we going now? Liara hesitated. To the surface. Near the tower. Evan nodded. Good. That's where I need to be. Liara didn't move. Her expression changed. Softer. Almost painful. There's one more truth you must know before we go. Evan swallowed. What truth? Liara stepped closer, lowering her voice. The Voidborn are not only here for the key code. They believe you are the first human whose body can fuse with ancient energy. If they capture you alive, they will turn you into a weapon against your own planet. Evan's blood ran cold. But I'd never. It would not matter, she whispered. You would not be yourself anymore. Silence hit the chamber like a punch. Evan felt fear wrap around his ribs. Not for himself, but for what could happen if he failed. Liara reached up and placed her hand against his cheek. Her touch was warm. Her glow dim. Her voice low and fragile. You asked on the first night. What did you do to me? Evan held her hand against his face. Yes, and I still don't know the answer. Liara whispered. I gave you my strength, but also my fate. You are chosen, Evan. Not for war, but because our lives are now one. Before he could answer, the door behind them exploded open. Voidborn shadows surged in, dozens of them. Lyra grabbed Evan and threw them both into the unstable portal. The last thing Evan heard was the echo of her whisper in his ear. Whatever happens now, remember, you are not alone. Light swallowed them both, and ends with the portal collapsing behind them, as Earth trembles under the coming invasion.